The First Lady tonight recovering well at Walter Reed Medical Center after undergoing a surgical procedure on her kidney this morning. Melania Trump now resting after an embolization procedure to treat a condition her office describes as benign. The president tweeting, "Successful procedure, she's in good spirits. Thank you to all of the well-wishers."
If there's a cyst or a tumor there, they use that catheter to go ahead and block off any blood supply, essentially starving that cyst or tumor in the hopes that it goes ahead and shrink at that point.
President Trump tonight visiting his wife, who's expected to remain at the military hospital for the rest of the week.
They're saying that they want to go ahead and keep her for a week, which is unusual in a case like this, but it could be because she's the First Lady and they just want to pay extra attention and take extra precautions.
The president earlier staying at the White House during his wife's procedure, although an official here tells NBC News he spoke with the First Lady before her procedure and to her doctor after.
She's become a very, very popular First Lady. I'm reading that. I'm seeing all those stories, and they love Melania.
Just last week, Mrs. Trump, who's 48, unveiled her Be Best campaign, encouraging kindness in children.
Let us teach our children the difference between right and wrong and encourage them to be best.
Mrs. Trump becoming the First Lady to undergo such a serious medical procedure while in the White House since Nancy Reagan's mastectomy in 1987. Yesterday on Mother's Day, the president played golf, and the White House said nothing about the First Lady or her health. Tonight, the White House won't say whether the procedure was planned. The First Lady's office says that she looks forward to a full recovery so she can continue her work on behalf of children.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.